Good morning, everyone. As I'm realizing my laptop is a little off here. So, good morning. Anyways, I had a question that I wanted to ask you guys, and that is, have you ever stopped pushing yourself to your very best because you had this little voice just yapping at you? What will people think of me? Maybe you are in business, maybe you are working from home and you need to make phone calls. Maybe you've been wanting to get to the gym and you just know that you're not the most athletic person and you don't want to join the class because you're going to look silly and you're just kind of holding back because what will people think of me, right? If you've ever not pursued your very best, or maybe you didn't even step into something, or you didn't do what you planned on doing because you had that voice yapping at you, if you wouldn't mind just using the chat box and telling me, yes, you've had that happen to you, and yes, you would love to overcome that. You guys, I had something happen yesterday that I wanted to share with you because I think this may help some of you listening. And if it does, please share it with your friends, share it with your network, because that's how we learn, right? We learn from other people's experience. So many of you know that I am not the most athletic person. And so I have pushed myself into the gym. I have hired a personal trainer at one point before. And I would still say, now, having done that for over a year, I still walk into the gym feeling a little, I sometimes call it feeling lost, like a child on the playground. And so yesterday I walked in with my cell phone and I had a program on there, and it was video driven, and it was like 50 seconds, do something. You all know what I'm talking about, right? So the gym is a 24-hour gym. The private room was taken. So I would have to do these exercises kind of where everybody else was lifting weights. And so I want you to picture this, right? It was actually very full. And there were a lot of guys. They were pumping and lifting weights. And when you go into the gym, everybody looks like they know what they're doing. And you're looking around going, I don't know what I'm doing, right? So I'm taking you to the story because I really think this is going to help you in business. Okay. So anyways, I looked around and I had a moment of that thought. Oh my gosh, what are people going to think about me if they see me do all these silly little things here? And I know that I'm not a rock star at these exercises. And then I had another moment of thinking. And immediately I thought to myself, who really cares? And I want you to say this to yourself for a moment. Who really cares? And I said to myself, you're not that important that anyone is going to stop their workout routine and think about how silly I look on the floor. Or when I do those squats and they're not really all that great, right? And even if the entire gym of all the people there would think, oh, that girl looks kind of silly doing her exercise, she doesn't look like she knows what she's doing. Again, who cares? Would it change my workout routine? No. Would it change anything about who I am? No. Would it change anything what I'm capable of? No. And I think we give so much weight to other people, and we really think they're actually thinking about us. And you guys, I just have to say, I don't think we're all that important to just random people out there. And I don't think people even stop and think about what you're doing. And yet we, in our own self-centric universe, where so often we put ourselves in our own little universe, we really think that people think about us. And I just don't think that's the reality. And I really realized yesterday, because I've been at the gym and I've seen some people do some really funky things, and I have my own mind going, right? Like, oh my gosh, that looks silly, or I can't believe she's having a Starbucks coffee at the gym, walking on the treadmill. Like all these thoughts going on in my mind, right? Did it affect that person in any way, shape, or form? No, right? It didn't. Did it affect me? No. And so I want you to really think about what is holding you back from pursuing your dreams. Whether it is stepping into that gym and you want to finally make that commitment to get in shape, and you've just been having all this fear of holding you back because of the fear of what people think. They don't. You know, picking up this phone when you work for yourself and making phone calls, it can weigh 1,000 pounds, right? How many of you can agree with me on that? I've worked for myself now for 22 years, making phone calls, setting appointments, connecting with people. And you know what? When someone tells you no, or they're not ready at this point, or maybe they're just not interested, when that phone gets hung up, do you really believe people take a moment out of their precious life to sit there and think about you and the choices that you made picking up that phone and calling them? I just don't think so. I think we just need a little bit of a reality check. We're not all that important, guys. I mean, maybe that's not the message you wanted to hear today, but I just really don't think in the universe that's around us, with all of the business that's going on and people yapping and chattering and offering and trying to make it out there in this world, will stop and really think in a negative way about you because you stepped out of your comfort zone and you're trying to pursue something in your life. I think the very least, people will just say, hey, that was courageous. That's awesome, right? And so yesterday in the gym, I did my workout. I looked probably really silly. I mean, I was laying at one point at the floor in a pose where I had to lift up my arms and my legs, and I'm super not flexible. And I'm sure people were probably thinking I need to go over there and maybe help her, right? She probably can't get off the floor. But you know what? I kept saying to myself, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. I need to be here. I need to work out, and I need to flex my body if I want to get stronger. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. And so I really hope that today may be the last day that you will allow anybody to stop you from pursuing your dreams and goals in your own imaginary mind, because you're thinking that people think about you. And so I hope that whatever you set your mind to today, just do it. Just do it anyways. Be scared and do it anyways. Jump off the cliff and build those wings as you're flying. Because you know what? When I finished my routine yesterday, I felt great. And I thought, you know what? I'm so glad that I did not let this mind that wanted to come in and be a little negative again stop me from doing what I knew I had to do. So the whole lesson to this whole message is, we're not that important. People are not thinking all day about us, the choices that we're making. Go out there, do your best, push hard, share this message if that inspired you. Maybe let me know in the little chat box, you know what? This is it. I'm going to actually pursue what I know I need to do, and I'm not going to let a thought process in my head stop me from doing what I know I need to do. So make it a great day, my friends. Go out there and change the world, and do not listen to the negative voice. Go out there and do it.